If you like this edition and you want to know more about the topic and understand it in detail, head on to pallavisehgal.com to see the full video on the topic. Today we are exploring Warren Buffett's 1986 letter to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders, an year when the company gained 26% while Buffett grappled with new challenge, having too much money and not enough good places to invest. The economic moat concept. The insight here being that the best businesses have moats around their competitive position that protect them from competitors, just like a castle has a moat that protects it from invaders. Buffett's perspective here being that when discussing Geico's success, Buffett explains that their rock bottom operating costs create a kind of moat that protects a valuable and much sought after business castle. Geico's expense ratio was just 23.5%, while many competitors were 15 percentage points higher. As he puts it, no one understands this moat around the castle concept better than Bill Snyder, the chairman of Geico. He continually widens the moat by driving down costs still more. Be fearful when others are greedy. The insight here being, we simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful. Buffett's perspective out here. Writing during a bull market, Warren Buffett observed that little fear is visible in the Wall Street. Instead, euphoria prevails. He noted the dangerous disconnect where rewards to the owners of businesses become uncoupled with the plodding performance of the businesses themselves. His conclusion, stocks can't outperform the businesses indefinitely. Why does it matter? This reveals the psychological discipline required for successful investing. The best opportunities come when everyone else is panicking, but that is precisely when it's the hardest to act. Conversely, when everyone feels great about the market, that's when danger lurks. Hire people bigger than you are. The insight here being that if each of us hires people who are smaller than we are, we shall become a company of dwarfs. But if each of us hires people who are bigger than we are, we shall become a company of giants. Buffett's perspective. Quoting advertising legend David Ogilvy, Buffett explains their management philosophy using golf analogy. If my job were to manage a golf team and Jack Nicklaus or Arnold Palmer were willing to pay for me, neither would get a lot of directives from me about how to swing. He adds, we intend to continue our practice of working only with people whom we like and admire. The owner earning concept. The insight here being that real business earnings aren't what GAAP accounting shows. They are what Buffett calls owner earnings, reported earnings plus depreciation minus the capital expenditures needed to maintain competitive position. Buffett's perspective. In his detailed appendix, Buffett demolishes the cash flow policy that Wall Street loves. He shows how Scott Fitzgerald looked like it earned $28.6 million under GAAP, but actually earned $40 million in economic reality. As he put it, I would rather be vaguely right than precisely wrong. Why does it matter? This cuts through accounting noise to understand what business actually generates from its owners. Many businesses that look profitable on paper are actually destroying value when you account for the reinvestment needed to stay competitive. This brings us to the Charlie Munger corner. While Charlie's direct quotes are limited in this letter, his influence is clear in the analytical rigor and focus on finding businesses with sustainable competitive advantages. The entire moat concept reflects Charlie's influence on focusing on business quality over cheap prices. The spotlight quote for this episode, we simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful. This quote captures a contrarian mindset that is essential for investment success. Having the emotional discipline to act opposite to the crowd when it matters the most. The moat metaphor alone has influenced generations of investors to think about sustainable competitive advantages rather than just quarterly earnings. Most importantly, this letter demonstrates the psychological discipline required for investment success. The ability to remain rational when others are emotional and to act contrary to the popular sentiment when the evidence warrants it. We hope that you've enjoyed the preview edition of this topic. If you like this edition and you want to know more about the topic and understand it in detail, head on to pallavisehgal.com to see the full video on the topic.